The common theme is people want to like her, and then she doesn't close the deal. She's not able to articulate a consistent and compelling message that makes those voters who show up for her, who are interested in what she's selling, that makes them decide, yes, this is the candidate I can commit to.
The Democratic Party convention, oxymoronic, with a special emphasis on the moronic, is already underway. But at some point, Kamala Harris is going to have to start fronting up and telling us what that party means and what that party stands for. Because the party convention itself seems to be a maelstrom of chaos, where it's being attacked from the left, attacked from the right, protesters are opposing one another, protests take place during the convention itself that seem curiously limp-wristed. And again, like Rowan Atkinson there, it might be argued, well, this is evidence of healthy debate and healthy conversation and the freedom to protest. But wait till you see the protest and sort of what it looked like and what it's redolent of and what it seems to be. Let's have a look at even the ardent Democrat Party supporters don't know what to believe anymore. This is an epitomizing image, I would say. A pro-Palestine protester wearing a COVID mask, demanding justice and a ceasefire in the Middle East. A ceasefire and an end to violence and an end to war is surely something that we all believe in. Surely all of us want peace immediately, urgently, always. But what seems really baffling and confusing is this party's inability to hold together even its own demographic. Let's have a look.
Y'all can do better than that. Mike Damani!
150,000 people are dead! You are funding a genocide! The Harris-Biden administration keeps funding money to Israel!
Sometimes I feel that the simulation is breaking down. The protester herself, an ardent believer clearly in the token that is the mask, once it was proven that the mask made no difference. Now, even by the most enthusiastic reckoning, this pandemic is over. Many of us believe that the pandemic barely even began. Even the most biased and Pfizer-funded science would tell you that those masks were never effective. Even Fauci himself acknowledged the masks were not effective. So here, in one sense, we have an ardent devotee of the liberalist message. Liberalism that no longer means freedom in an Orwellian twist that would be hard to predict except by that great writer. On that side of the fence, on that side of this amorphous line, that protester's on board. But when it comes now to the Democrat Party's policy on Israel-Palestine, well, it turns out that she has to throw rocks and protest because she ain't going to get what she wants from her leaders, not from that party. The party that she believes in don't exist. Certainly it's not there. It's not having its convention in Chicago right now. And doesn't it even look like the security that are moving her off the stage don't even really mean anything? I don't think she's wearing the mask to hide her identity, mate. I think you could, how many people do you think are wearing those shoes? If you love our content, then by Jove and by the Lord above, you'll have to love our partners too. We choose them especially for you. Dr. Gundry is a world-renowned cardiologist. He tells us about a secret potential toxin in food that's causing digestive issues, affecting millions of us. It could be affecting you right now. Here's a warning sign. Have you gained any weight lately? Are you fatigued? Are you suffering from digestive discomfort? Are your joints stiff? Have you got any skin problems? Dr. Gundry explains how these side effects are often mistaken for ordinary signs of aging. You just got to know which foods are healthy and which contain this hidden toxin. We've got to find out about this toxin. Click on the link in the description here. Go to gutcleanseprotocol.com. That's gutcleanseprotocol.com/brand. gutcleanseprotocol.com/brand. We'll learn about this toxin. We'll learn about which foods to avoid and how to avoid this toxin in order to get fit. After years of research, Dr. Gundry, I salute you, sir, has released this free video showcasing exactly which foods you got to avoid. I'm going to have to avoid these ones. I don't want bad skin. These joints have got to remain limber and lubricated, baby. So go find that video. gutcleanseprotocol.com/brand to learn about these hidden toxins in our food. We gotta get healthy. We gotta get well. Let's go back to the content. Click on that link now. I want you to stay healthy and age beautifully. So come along now, everybody. Are you beginning to sense that the simulation is quaking, that no one really believes in this anymore? Isn't it possible that among us and between us we can come up with something a little better than this, something to believe in? Because even CNN, and I'll tell you this, I'm genuinely confused by this, because I do consider the media, the legacy media, the traditional media, to entirely be on board with the amplification of the globalist, centralist message. That could mean Kamala Harris, could mean Keir Starmer, could mean Macron, could mean Trudeau, could mean any one of those centre-left, but ultimately, I would say, globalist politicians. Here, CNN appear to be identifying, or at least tracing round, the elephant that is so plainly in the room. And that elephant is not the symbol of the Republican Party. No, that elephant is the lack of identifiable policy emerging from this convention or this movement. Although, there's price gouging, which sort of evidently economically is not a sensible way to address the costs of the inflation and subsequent COVID measures that have led to the conditions that many people are experiencing as high grocery bills, high gas bills. But for now, let's have a quick look at CNN doing the unthinkable. It seems like they are committed to reporting on the news. And the news is this: Kamala Harris don't seem to have no policies.
How Kamala Harris's campaign unraveled. They obtained the resignation letter of the Harris campaign state operations director, who is now joining the Bloomberg campaign. She wrote, "It is unacceptable that with less than 90 days until Iowa, we still do not have a real plan to win. Our campaign for the people is made up of diverse talent, which is being squandered by indecision and a lack of leaders who lead." Molly, that is rough stuff. You wrote a fantastic cover story on Kamala Harris about a month ago or so. I'm sure, based on what your reporting has been, a lot of this isn't really a surprise to you.
No, what's a surprise is that she has failed to turn it around despite literally months and months and months of hearing this kind of frustration. And you hear it, it's reporters, it's people inside the campaign, it's people outside the campaign, it's pretty much every voter that you meet on the campaign trail who goes to see her. And the common theme is people want to like her, and then she doesn't close the deal. She's not able to articulate a consistent and compelling message that makes those voters who show up for her, who are interested in what she's selling, that makes them decide, yes, this is the candidate I can commit to. And the Times story and a Post story today have really laid out this frustration, especially within her team, that she hasn't been able to make those decisions.
And she's been all over the place in terms of the message. Here's a clip to show some of her kind of all over the place messaging.
Truth, justice, decency, equality, freedom. Our mother would sit up trying to figure out how to make it all work. That's something most Americans know all too well. And that's what my 3 a.m. agenda is all about.
He's tearing us apart. She'll bring us together. This is Trump. And in every possible way, this is the anti-Trump.
And now to Lou, one of the messages is she's the one who can bring back the Obama coalition in the way that Obama had it in 2007.
Yeah, they've tried out a number of different messages over the past several months and just tried to see what is stuck. And it's been difficult to follow her campaign because there have been so many different messages. And one of the biggest debates that she's having internally is whether she wants to be sort of this progressive, left-wing California liberal, or whether or not she wants to be more of a moderate. And both of those lanes are currently clogged up. And the fact that she's kind of vacillating between the two of those makes it difficult for any voter to stick to her when there are so many other options.
And Julie, this was a policy-heavy campaign, I think, in a way that some folks who got in didn't necessarily predict and maybe weren't ready for, and she has had issues with some of her policies.
Right, and some of this goes back to the candidate herself. I mean, they have tried out a lot of different messages and a lot of different strategies, but as Molly said, it is her lack of ability to stick to one policy prescription, one set of policy issues that she really wants to be her trademark that has put her where she is today.
Yeah, for her, it seems like it's do or die Iowa, so we'll see. Just, a couple of weeks left.
It's going to be an extraordinary election because what we have really, I suppose, is progressive legacy media, progressive in the sense that there is a kind of materialist belief that humanity is heading to some kind of ascension. fully behind the Democrat Party, as you might imagine, other than sort of debates like this. And you have online platforms hosting conversations between Trump and Musk. How is this propaganda going to unfold when really it seems to me that there are very few conversations taking place about what genuinely and truthfully matters to all of us? The ability to live our lives individually and communally with a degree of unity, to have the freedom to express yourself religiously and spiritually, to become the person that you're intended to be, somewhat free from the overreach of government and the endless bludgeoning of global corporatism. It doesn't seem to me that that's something that's being openly discussed. But the Democratic Party convention is going to be pretty fascinating, and we'll be doing a watch along when Kamala does her speech. Join us for that and become an Awaken Wonder if you want to come and see any of my live shows. We'll post the details of how you can become an Awaken Wonder in the chat right now. Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.